To be confident being in the rooms that you have earned a place in. It's so hard to get in those rooms, and once you're in those rooms, it's so hard to be heard. And as a woman as well, you're against people who are most likely male, who are more senior up in that food chain, and you've just got to push even more than you would if you were a man in those spaces. But earlier on, I wish I would have pushed into more of those rooms, because just as was said before, like Muriel said, or there's always an idea that you've got that you wish you would have said.
And nothing is too little is what I've learned. Nothing is irrelevant. When it comes to interviews, etc., all your experiences are relevant. Even working in a cafe is relevant, because you still learn something from doing that, and it's still a skill that you can utilize in this sector. And so I've learned to make a note of my achievements and not to be shy of actually shouting them out in a humble way, but or not in an arrogant way, but letting it be known that this is what I've done.
I think on the rejection question, being realistic, rejection it's not a nice thing, it's a sad thing. And I think first of all, it's okay to be like down. If we're talking like job applications, that kind of thing, try and pull out all of the feedback that you can from any negative comments that you get. Seek feedback, or feedback is provided to you readily. Always act on that. The whole point is that every application is supposed to be a bit better than the last one, so that by the time you get to the successful one, it's miles away from the first one that you did. And that's all because you've been building on your feedback, looking at what you've sent out. Okay, what can I change? How can I improve this? So turn it into an action point, rather than just like, okay, I got rejected, I'll just go again with the same approach. When it comes to kind of being able to stand out, showing that you're the best candidate, because you've built on all of the things that weren't particularly right about your approach or your application style or your interview style, whatever it was beforehand, you are now more of the ideal candidate because you've actually done something with that feedback.
So it is a lot to juggle. In-house is where I was always going to go. You're actually in control of your career, that you can actually make choices. I think sometimes we let it be so, we focus on what these institutions are going to give us as opposed to taking control. You can actually create the career that you want to have. You have to be quite purposeful of the kind of companies that you choose to work for. So I chose I wanted to be in-house, but I also look for companies that I think are going to be more accommodating in terms of like the working hours and the culture. Those are really key things that I try to figure out, you know, based on looking at the websites, or when I get to interview, I really try to tease out, you know, are they going to look at me funny, you know, because I maybe have to dash because I've got childcare commitments, I have to pick up my son, or my son's ill, I have small children that I have to care about their well-being. So having started a job in January and working from home, it was very important to me that I was in a company that was accepting of that.